everyone, and welcome to the chat. My name is Shelby Ivy Christie, and we're bringing you Black news in a fresh and fun way. So this morning with me, I have Courtney Pope, I have Keenan James, and I have the sassy Alana Covington as always. And today we're going to get into some great topics. It's been all kinds of buzz in the news, lots of Black issues going on. So it leads us back to our first point. If any of you have seen the first episode, we talked about Miss Minaj, Nicki Minaj. As you know, well, if you don't know, she included an image of Malcolm X on the cover of her single, Looking Ass Niggas, which basically calls out ignorant Black people for being niggas. So the family basically released this nice statement, saying that they understand that it was, disrespectful. It's unfortunate, but you know what? Moving forward, whatever. So Nicki Minaj apologizes, blames it on women's empowerment, and carries on. But last week, Nicki Minaj released a single called Chirac. And basically, in the song, the lyrics go like this. Looking ass nigga. She basically called Malcolm X's daughter a looking ass nigga. She said, Malcolm X's daughter came at me. Looking ass nigga ain't happy. Okay. Courtney, what are your thoughts?
It just kind of makes her apology null and void. You apologize to the family. They kept it real cute by just releasing a statement, and then you disrespect his daughter.
Right.
It's kind of like you're asked, whatever repercussions come after this, you ask for it.
Right.
Essentially, is what I think.
I think she's obnoxious and offensive in so many ways. I mean, he's like a civil rights leader, and you are disrespecting his family like out of control.
She really needs to sit down because I felt like you said, it was a clean-cut statement. They could have sued you.
Right.
You need to chill out, okay? First of all, you were offensive in the first place. They had a discussion with you. They said something to you. Just kill it.
Why made her do this again?
Are you trying to be relevant?
Right.
Is that the issue?
And Keenan brought up a good point. They used his image. And basically, his estate belongs to his children. Right. They could have definitely not released a statement, not accepted her apology. They could have just pursued with the legal route and been, real cute about it. So you're right, Courtney. I'm interested to see what repercussions come out of this.
Disrespecting the family and now the daughters. Oh,
Why? What did this lady ever do to you for you to feel that way?
But I also think it brings up the thing that we talked about in the last episode. Who in your camp thought that this was
okay?
Right,
exactly.
Who approved this and was like, you know what?
Right.
That's a hot verse.
Who's
Hit it.
listening to this music and is like, okay, we'll sacrifice the Black legacy for a Nicki Minaj lyric.
And
not
he
even that.
sacrificed his life for you.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's not even a radio single at that. So I'm like, so we're coming for people on, mixtape singles.
I'm telling you, from the time she said she was voting for Romney,
right.
Sit down.
Right. She's been off the list
please,
since then.
Sit down.
Oh, gosh.
Which leads us to our next topic. We're talking about Mitt Romney, and there's a new Black or white guy on the scene. Nick Cannon was recently seen out in whiteface, supposedly. He was dressed in a costume. His skin was all white. He had on like a blonde wig. And it's to promote his new album, White People Party Music. And a lot of white people took offense to it. They ran to Twitter just calling him racist and whiteface, and that's offensive, it's disrespectful. And I really want to get you guys' opinion on it. And for me, it was really odd to watch because, as we know, the opposite, blackface, is really attached to a lot of strife, a lot of turmoil. It was used as a, Black people were turned into a caricature that wasn't accurate. It was just kind of a joke. We were made fun of with the blackface. And I feel like white people being upset is kind of like, are you a racist? Because there's no hurt, there's no pain, there's no discrimination behind someone painting themselves white. We paint ourselves white when we dress up like clowns. We paint ourselves white when we dress up like ghosts, and no one says anything. But when we dress up like a white man, and it just wasn't his face. His whole body was white. Yeah. So what do you think, Keenan? Because I see you.
Well, my opinion, I thought it was offensive. We did have a discussion before this, and before I saw the picture, I still thought it was offensive. Then we had a discussion of, well, blackface is attached to slavery and whiteface is not. No, I can agree with you on that. Okay. But at the end of the day, I still sort of feel like it is offensive because I feel like if it was maybe a Chinese person or even some sort of culture, I feel like it's offensive because you put that face on. I know it's just fun and it might not be that serious, but I might not take it that serious, but the next person might. And it makes me think of I think it was the Super Bowl commercial where this white guy was he had this Jamaican accent. And I mean, to me, when I saw the commercial, and I'm not Jamaican, but when I saw the commercial, I was like, okay, I don't think that is that serious. But the Jamaicans took that to an offense. So that is just, it can be offensive to some people, and I felt like that could be
cultural.
offensive.
I think it's a cultural thing, like you brought attention to.
It is a cultural thing, but it's almost like mocking.
I feel like it's almost, for me, I felt like it was almost a slap in the face for a white person to even call him a racist, to even entertain that was his intent. You know, it, like you said, it's way different for black people. That is deeply rooted in black slavery, black exploitation. Dressing up in whiteface has never been associated with that.
And like, I remember watching a segment that Nick Cannon was in, and he was saying like blackface is about oppression and whiteface is just impression. Like he was just having fun. It was just his alter ego. He was saying it's Connor Smallnut. Like he was just having fun. It's never meant to be a racist thing. I mean,
I just think it. For me, in my perspective, I just think it's rude either way.
Yeah,
for me personally, I just. Why even, like, I get it, but then in a way it also just comes off very gimmicky too as well. So you got the reaction that you wanted because obviously people are talking about you, but was it really worth it in the end? Because Nick Cannon, you have a large enough brand. You know you have.
Do you really need to do that?
Was that really necessary? Was it really that serious for you to do something like that? You know. So I mean, I feel like rude is blackface rude, whiteface rude. Just don't. Anytime you have somebody in your camp that might even possibly be like, then maybe you need to take a step back and re-strategize.
Right.
Anytime
again with the camps, like who's allowing this? Like who's saying, "Oh my gosh, this is going to be
even
revolutionary"?
Album title. Who was like, yes,
right.
That's
this
the
is
one.
the one.
And let's be honest.
I was like, white people.
Let's
music.
be honest. The record label is older white males. It's very dominated. So why are these white males? I mean, they were okay
with so many other things. So.
He was like, yeah. Like I thought it was just like,
funny.
Just so
and then something about it.
Well, let's go to Brian J.
Okay.
He's on the streets of Aggieland. He's out there getting the opinions of our fellow students. See what they think. They might have some similar opinions to us. They might feel indifferent. Let's go to Brian and see what he's talking about with the students on the street.
Thanks, Shelby. This topic has everybody talking. Is it racist? Is it not racist? Is it a double standard? Or is it a big deal? Right now, I'm standing here with Marisha Avery, and I want to get your take on it. Marisha, how do you feel about this subject?
I feel like it's just him doing his job. Everybody knows Nick Cannon as a comedian, and he's just doing what he does to put food on the table for him and his family. So at the end of the day, you can't really be mad at him for wanting to make money.
Initially, I would say it's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious, in fact. But upon further review, I probably would think it's a little offensive to certain people.
I mean, personally, I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, it's each person's preference, so you can't really be upset about it. I don't believe it's racist at all, actually. I mean, it's a form of promotion. If you're gonna name your title white boy party music, or white people party music, I'm sorry. I mean, you may as well, play on the part for the advertisement for your album.
I've just recently heard that actresses feel like if they're out of the limelight, they need to do something to bring them back into the relevant news. So I just think this is just a stunt of him that he can do to just bring him back to relevant.
Now that's racist. You say white people party music, and then you promote it with a white face. That's racist. Like I don't see how that's even funny. Because music is music at the end of the day. No matter if you're white, black, Portuguese, it doesn't really matter. Music is music. So by you just trying to promote it because of the title of and that title is retarded anyway. But it's really stupid. It is kind of ignorant. So if that's his new money maker, make your money, but think about things before you do them. Because that wasn't good.
So we got a lot of different opinions out here today on campus, but we're going to continue the conversation in the studio. I'm Brian J., your man on the street. Back to you guys, Shelby.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for getting all that useful information. The Aggies really had some opinions out there. They were really informed. I was really interested. But we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be discussing the new military regulations on hairstyles. So join us for the chat. Stay tuned.
It's a simple question. one that's been present since North Carolina A&T State University was founded. To date, it has earned our graduates seats on the Space Shuttle and the North Carolina Supreme Court. It has propelled our graduates from a high school auditorium to the Broadway stage. It even inspired a civil rights movement from a lunch counter. It's the question we pose to our students, our faculty, and the community in which we live. How will you make a difference in the world?
Welcome back to the chat. We're bringing you Black news in a fresh and fun way. Today I have with me Courtney Pope, Miss Kian James, and I have Alana Covington with me, and we've been discussing some awesome topics. We hit on Nicki Minaj slandering Malcolm X's daughter, unfortunately. We talked about Nick Cannon and his white face, and now we are on to new military hair regulations. So it's not all branches of the military. The Army specifically released these new regulations, proposed regulations for hair. They said there can't be more than 2 braids on your head, and they have to be very thin. And then you can't have twists in your hair, and you cannot have any kind of like headband. So even though it's not racially focused, it's very, it implies a lot of racial pinpoint and cultural pinpoint. Because as we know, Black women, Hispanic women, Asian women, sometimes to keep our hair healthy and we do protective styling, which includes a lot of twisting, a lot of braiding. It's just easier maintenance, especially if you have children or you work out. It's not always, convenient to have your hair loose. So I kind of want to get you guys' opinion. We discussed it before the show, but I feel like it's a really touchy subject. One, because these are these women's jobs, and yes, you want them to look clean and professional, but Kian was talking about why is our natural hair and our natural styles not considered clean and professional. So I want to get you guys' opinion. Kian, do you want to take it?
Well, first of all, I just felt like, what's wrong with the twisties? If you have twisties in, they're well maintained, and you pin them back up in, because I know you said that they cannot have hair on their neck. What's wrong with the twisties? I don't understand that. Now the braids, I guess because it almost comes with some sort of negative connotation, or in the media, it seems like braids are negative, but there's nothing wrong with a neat set of braids in your hair. And especially if you have short hair, it makes it easier for you to twist that. So on Monday through Friday through Sunday, when you have those twists in, you don't have to worry about anything. When you have to put your hat on, you just put it on if you have short hair. So I just feel like, why is it that twists and braids are considered unprofessional? Is it because of the way media portrays it? So are we going by the way media portrays it? Because I don't see anything wrong with having twists in and you put it in a nice, neat bun.
Well, I think the answer to that is, and when I read the Army regulation as it stands today, they use the word conservative a lot. Conservative styles, conservative presentation. So they're going along the lines of conservative. And traditionally, braids and twists aren't conservative styles. But I feel like they should be trying to modernize that instead of oppress
I think
that.
I think the issue that I'm having, one, is that you say that it's something that's not supposed to be so based on race, but these are typical hairstyles that are associated with our race. And then two, the whole reason that a lot of natural women do wear these twists and things like that is to maintain some type of conservative style about it. You know what I'm saying? Without having to sacrifice, the way that their hair naturally grows out of their head.
Yes,
That's almost as if you're saying, like, I'm already conforming as is to put these twists in to try to keep it neat, but now that's not acceptable enough, so I'm natural, so I don't want to get a relaxer. So is the next option then I just have to shave my head?
Right.
Where's a little room for like understanding of women of color?
Right.
I feel like all of this comes with time. It took corporate America a long time to get used to natural hairstyles. Of course, the Army is going to take even longer because they're so old-fashioned. So I feel like give it 2 more years. I guess that we have to do conservative styles with the, twist backs. What can you do?
Well, I will say it hasn't been approved yet. It is foregoing some review, and there is a petition through the White House to turn it down. There's been thousands of signatures on this petition.
Sign it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sign it.
Sign the petition. Find it and signed it. But I think it calls to attention a deeper racial issue, which is the military has always been very, very racist in its institutional ways. People went into the people of color joined the military, went and fought in World War I, World War II, even Vietnam, and then had to come back to segregation. So there's always been that disrespect for other cultures. It was a matter of needing numbers and not a matter of really wanting to accept black people into the military. To offer kind of the other side of the coin, I can see why the braids might be concerned lengthwise, but not style-wise. There might need to be a reevaluation and maybe regulate the length of the braids so that they're not interfering with the, you know, the artillery or, you know, the rotors, whatever goes on in the military. There might need to be a length requirement, but I don't think that the style, you know, the braids are still allowed. You can't have more. I think the new regulation says you can't have more than 2 braids. The old regulation allows braids so long as you can pull them up. So, you know, it's a tough spot, and I feel like, you know, that institutional racism is still there. No, they're definitely not accepting of the cultural aspect of the hairstyles. I don't think it comes with time. I think it comes with understanding. And, you know, black women in the military might really need to take might need to take a stand and be like, we're not going to wear our hair this way. We're going to wear it in our natural state, and you're going to accept it. We're going to twist it. We're going to braid it, and those are your 2 options. They need to. I didn't
even know about this topic.
That's in general.
They don't even know. So stuff is going on about this. So we need to put it out there.
That's in general. I agree.
In general, women have to do that. In corporate America, you know, the reason why those barriers have been broken down because women are like, okay, I'm going to get this job with my hair straight, but then when I pump up in this office, it's going to be a fro, and you're going to deal. So, thank you guys for chatting with me today, and thank you for joining the chat with us. We hope that you come back and see our next episode. We have some good topics coming up. There's a document here called Preeminence 2020 that basically wants to diversify our campus, and they're taking a few resources away from black students, which is 83% of our campus. So join us next time on the chat as we discuss great topics. We're having our Student Government Association president for the next coming year on, Dorian Davis. So it should be a good talk. We'll see you next time.